What's up? It's Saturday, it's rainy, and it sucks. Be more positive, Jude.
I am. I gotta swap a tray.
So, I would say 3 hours of light machining, at least.
More than that.
At least 3 hours of light machining this rear eyelets for the spherical bushings. So I don't know if it's product issue, right? Or inconsistencies in the cast for every 8.8 rear. Probably both, right? Lack of quality in the spherical Heim, lack of consistency in the casting of the 8.8 rears. I don't even think CO2 would have froze these enough to get them in there. So
not without you machining it out.
but you're gonna need both. You're gonna need to freeze these things, and you're gonna need to machine these out. So what I did is I used a cylinder hone for a while until that wore out, and then I wound up using emery cloth, which Lowe's does not call this emery cloth. Where is the box? Lowe's calls this some other crap. I don't even know what they call it, but oh, here you go. They don't even call this emery cloth. They call it open mesh cloth at Lowe's. So then what I wound up doing was using Scotch-Brite pad, wrapped around a drill bit. It looks kind of like this. Scotch-Brite pad around a drill bit. And then I used the Scotch-Brite pad until it was worn out, and then I used the emery cloth wrapped around this, and kept flipping the emery paper back and forth till it was worn out, and then more. And then if you see the finish that I have achieved inside of there, and then remember what I said, someone torched out the old ones previously. So now it's nice and shiny. My opinion is to freeze these and continue machining or sanding, whatever you want to call it, until the spherical Heim just barely fits in there. And then what I wound up doing was using a block of wood and banging it in. And you can see that this isn't actually 100% true. So it's thinner here and thicker there. I wound up blocking it in as far as I could, and then I still had to use a sledgehammer to tap it the rest of the way in flush. And then this here is super tight. I'm sure that the machining of this stuff is just not great, to be honest with you. That's super tight. So
I was going to say that recording.
yeah, so once this was cold out of the ice box, wheel bearing grease, block of wood and a hammer, it drove in fairly easy. If I spent a little bit more time on it, it probably would have been a little easier, but I did get it to go in. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this while this is in the freezer, and then I'll knock it in. So what they should do is sell something to machine like this. Even though it costs more money, sell the bushing that's mic'd to the drill bit or augler or something, right, to make the install that simple. This is a complete nightmare to do. If you had a customer come in and want to do this, it's ridiculous to do it the way that the average person, the average technician, the home guy would have to do. It would be worth every penny for you to spend $300 for the bushings and the proper drill bit to drill out this rear to have the proper size. Or take this over to a mini lathe and machine it down until it's close enough. But who has a mini lathe laying around their house? They don't. So I was just trying to think of what's the fastest and easiest way to do this. Just going at it and banging them in and pressing them in, you're only destroying a spherical Heim. I could imagine how many people have done that trying to get this in. So, like I said, I used cylinder hone for a while until that was wiped out, and then Scotch-Brite pads, and then Scotch-Brite pads once they were worn out with emery wrapped around them, and within I think 3 hours of taking my time and doing this, which you don't want it too big, and then you're gonna have a big problem. So it's better to be a little tighter than loose. And then once these things become ambient temperature, they're going to swell into here. I mean, this is cold right now from the bushing being in there. So I'm going to work on this side a little bit more, get this done, and hopefully this weekend get this in the car. Thanks for watching.